Hello, and welcome to the November Plan with Me. If you're new here, my name is Kanova. If not, welcome back. All right, let's talk a little bit about this month's theme. So, if you've been watching my videos from month to month, you will know that I have been pretty indecisive about what goes into my bullet journal, often changing at the very last minute. And I was pretty excited about this month's setup and ready to go. And then life happened, and something about the theme just didn't feel quite right. So I've decided to save it to January or maybe February. We'll see. Um, so life happened, and I found out that I lost a friend, that they just died unexpectedly. I still don't know what happened to them, but I was in a space and place where I really needed something comforting. And I found comfort in a song called Migratory V by Adam Guettel. The song comes from a theatrical piece, a song cycle called Myths and Hymns, based on Greek mythology and the lyrics found in a vintage hymnal. If you are interested in the piece, I highly encourage you to look it up. I know that there is a virtual piece done during the pandemic if it's something that you are interested in. So I didn't just want to focus on the imagery of birds flying in a V formation migrating south. I also wanted to lean heavily into the lyrics. I didn't want to spend a lot of time worried about whether something looked real or not. I wanted the suggestion of it. I just wanted everything to sort of feel light. And in my research of images of migrating birds, I happened upon the work of Caroline Wright and was like, this is it. This is exactly what I want to do. My work here is not anywhere close to as wonderful as hers is. Again, check out these wonderful artists that I am inspired by. But I wanted to do a figurative painting with watercolor and this idea of migrating birds. And you can see where we are here. Now, here's where my change comes in. I saw that painting and thought, I really like it, but it's not the colors that I want. And I put the painting away and started another painting. I keep doing this, but I just needed it to be right. And I'll be honest, I felt very relaxed working on these paintings. So maybe what I really needed to do was just paint, especially since it was just this loose cloud formation, the sort of suggestion of, and then this sort of, I don't know what to call this, texture work that Wright does in her paintings that I leaned into. So I actually liked the first painting best, but color was really important to me. I'm not quite sure why, but I just went with my gut instincts. I'm keeping things really simple this month. There's a Dutch door setup and only the bare necessities. So there will be a cover page, a calendar page, my weeklies, my line a day, my mood tracker, and audition tracker. That's it. So no additional trackers, no Kanban boards, none of that. I'm keeping it very simple and straightforward. I still have the Kanban board from last month that I can use, and maybe later on I might add one towards the end, but I'm finding the one that I have still quite useful. I want to apologize for some issues that I had with my camera. It kept cutting off. Not quite sure why. I still haven't gotten to the bottom of it. So there will be some continuity issues going forward, jumping from starting to finishing rather quickly. I'm not trying to create movie magic. This is just literally the camera not behaving like it's supposed to. So I went in with my distressed oxide inks and used it to create the watercolor effect so that I didn't have any degrading in the quality of the pages. Even with 160 GSM paper, you see things that you don't necessarily want in your journal. So I lean into the distressed oxide inks to get that beautiful effect without the water. Next, I went in with my paper cutter and I cut down the painting to size to fit in my journal. I don't waste these bits and pieces. I often use them for other things like bookmarks, in case you are wondering. Watercolor paper is quite thick, so it does add bulk to the journal. Now let's get back to those lyrics. Originally, I was going to do the sunset page you see here, again with the distressed oxide inks, and I was going to go in and write the lyrics. And I thought, why? You have the sheet music. Why not just print it out and use it in the setup? It was the song, after all, that inspired you in the first place. I printed the music out on two different types of paper. I printed it out on resume paper, which has that sort of beautiful linen quality. I thought about aging this paper, and then I also printed it out on vellum and ultimately decided to go with the vellum. There's just something about seeing that sunset through that vellum in the spread. Now this is the calendar page, so I resisted the urge to put birds because this was going to get a little bit busy. Quick jump due to the camera situation into my weeklies. I am using my tried and true Alistair method. It is the most efficient method I find for the things that I need on a daily basis. Tasks on one side, I can plan it out or change it quickly and easily, and basically on the other side, just listing of appointments or any other details that I might need during that particular week or day. It took quite a bit of time setting these up. It always takes quite a bit of time setting up these pages, but they are well worth it for the amount of organization I get throughout the month. There's a bunch of videos out there on the Alistair method, but if you're interested in one from me, let me know. It'll be short, I can say that, but let me know if that's something you're interested in. So my audition tracker is what I set up next. It is a workhorse page for me. It is simply where I write down all the things I need to know about auditions I have coming up during the month. I write them down, I write the due dates down, I write what I need, the theater, the shows, what they're asking for, and often I go back in and write in the notes section what I actually sent to them. So I have all of that information stored in my journal. I used some washi tape with the months, the days of the month, and set up my line a day really quickly. Now, here you're going to see me change my mind yet again. So I had that vellum all cut out, but then in the end, I couldn't resist that linen texture. I felt it just went better with the watercolor paper textures that I had been using, and decided to use that with the music instead. Now here I am going in with metallic watercolor to paint my tabs. This all is reminiscent of the sunset painting, even though I didn't use that. Now I used a foil pen to write the month, the initials for the month, but ultimately again decided to use the paint. I just didn't like how it was coming together. I used a copper Uniball to write the month on my calendar page. I didn't want to paint here because again I wanted to keep the integrity of the paper intact. And the last thing I did is I went in with the remainder of the Distress Oxide ink on these and created a lovely cloud effect. And I'm just going to put some birds in there each day of the week. There'll be various colors. And with that, we are at the final flip. I am really pleased with myself for persevering and pushing through. I really enjoyed this process once I started working through it. Oh guys, the Trapper Keeper. I'm obsessed with this. I keep using this folder that I set up in my Trapper Keeper to store other things for other setups, like the stickers that I used to use to make the spiders and my mood tracker for the month of uh, October. All the it's I might have to recreate it in my new journal just to have it as something that is useful because it has been incredibly useful. I am overall pleased that I persevered and decided to do uh, an aesthetic setup for the month of November, despite how I was feeling. There was something about the process that felt very meditative, and I was just sort of flowing from here to there, making decisions, not really putting any pressure on myself at all. But overall, I'm pleased with how things came together. And I'm looking forward to the month and also the setups that I have upcoming. All right, I'll see you next month. If you made it this far, put something that's comforting to you in the comment section and like and subscribe. Thank you.